Hey guys, Dan Allen here again. Hey, it is tough love message time, I think. Um, Oftentimes I will talk to a colleague that'll say, I just can't seem to get a handle on my classroom. Kids are behaving want it to. Or I have a friend who's a coach and my team are acting really ridiculous lately. I just don't know how I'm going to handle it. I'm just going to give you a little advice. The nickel's worth of free advice here is kids only do two things. Really, they largely do only two things. Thing number one, whatever you tell them to do. Thing number two, what you'll allow them to do. So what's happening on your team or in your classroom or whatever group it is you're leading, if you have a extracurricular group after school, whatever the deal, they're doing what you encourage and what you tolerate, and not a whole lot else. Okay, so kids are following directions. So maybe you ask yourself the two questions: what am I teaching them or coaching them? What am I telling them to do? That's the really first question, depending on the context. I know that was three questions, but ask yourself question number one: what am I teaching them? Question number two: what am I allowing them to do that I don't like? Once you get those two things figured out, then you kind of go, okay, I got to change how I'm delivering, and I got to change what I'm allowing them and encouraging them to do. So when you get that under control, you start to kind of realize that you are the leader of the class. You are the one in charge. You are the leader as a coach on your team. You are the leader as an advisor to maybe even like the National Honor Society or whatever leadership group you have. So things aren't going the way you want them to. What am I teaching? What am I allowing? Ask those two questions, evaluate those two questions, change those things, and you'll see some improvement. Now, as that pertains to when we get back to normal, what's that going to look like? We've been doing business a little differently lately, and we've had to encourage and teach things that we might not be excited to do if we had everybody in person. So when everybody comes back to in-person learning, if that happens soon or next semester, or if it happens next fall, whenever it happens, it's going to happen. You got to ask yourself, okay, how am I going to set this up at the beginning, from the beginning, so that everybody understands my expectations and I understand what I'm willing to tolerate. So here's what I want, here's what I'll put up with. And you're communicating that with or without words, just saying. Okay, so think about how you're going to handle that when everybody comes back to school and everybody's back to quote-unquote normal, because you're going to have to decide how you're going to encourage your kids, how you're going to love on them, how you're going to encourage them to be leaders and encourage them to be good learners and encourage them to be the best human beings that they can be, and teaching things in the right direction and then tolerating the things that you are willing to tolerate and not tolerating the things you won't. So just some food for thought, thinking about what it's going to be like once everybody comes back, and how things are going to be different. They're going to be back to somewhat normal, but there's always going to be a little asterisk by them. Remember that when you're dealing with your kids. They have asterisks in a lot of areas in their life. One of them may be how their parents reacted and what their parents thought about how all this stuff was going down. So just realize it's not 100% their attitude is coming from 100% their thought. Okay, so be thinking about how you're going to do things differently, and if you're not happy with the way things are going, what are you teaching? What are you putting up with? What are you tolerating? Okay, so there it is. The two questions to ask if you're not sure you like how things are going. Have an awesome day. Let that roll right into an awesome weekend, and we'll talk soon. See ya.